Huh? No? Anthony said he got them off. Yeah? Yeah.
We're told that Justin runs at a constant
I get my what?
rate, traveling 17 kilometers
Oh, sure.
in 2. We're asked to solve the proportion, and we have 8/36 is equal to 10 over what? Or 8 to 36, or the ratio of 8 over 36 is equal to the ratio of 10 to what? And there's a bunch of different ways to solve this, and I'll explore really all of them. Or not all of them, or a good selection of them. So one way to think about it is that these two need to be equivalent ratios, or really equivalent fractions. So whatever happened to the numerator also has to happen to the denominator. So what do we have to multiply 8 by to get 10? Well, you could multiply 8 times 10 over 8 will definitely give you 10. So we're multiplying by 10 over 8 over here. Or another way to write 10 over 8. 10 over 8 is the same thing as 5 over 4. So we're multiplying by 5 over 4 to get to 10, from 8 to 10. Well, if we did that to the numerator, in order to have an equivalent fraction, you have to do the same thing to the denominator. You have to multiply it. You have to multiply it times 5 over 4. And so we could say this n, this thing that we just solved for, this n is going to be equal to 36 times 5 divided by 4. Or you could say that this is going to be equal to 36 times 5 divided by 4. And now 36 divided by 4, we know what that is. We could divide both the numerator and the denominator by 4. You divide the numerator by 4, you get 9. Divide the denominator by 4, you get 1. You get 45. So that's one way to think about it. 8 over 36. 8 over 36 is equal to 10 over 45. Another way to think about it is, what do we have to multiply 8 by to get its denominator? How much larger is the denominator 36 than 8? Well, let's just divide 36 over 8. So 36 over 8 is the same thing as, so we can simplify dividing the numerator and the denominator by 4. That's their greatest common divisor. That's the same thing as 9 halves. So if you multiply the numerator by 9 halves, you get the denominator. So we're multiplying by 9 halves to get the denominator over here. Well, then we have to do the same thing over here. If 36 is 9 halves times 8, let me write this. 36, or let me write 8 times 9 halves is equal to 36, right? That's how we go from the numerator to the denominator. Then to figure out what the denominator here is, if we want the same fraction, we have to multiply by 9 halves again. So then we'll get 10 times 9 halves is going to be equal to n, is going to be equal to this denominator. And so this is the same thing as saying 10 times 9 over 2. Divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, you get 5 over 1, which is 45. So 45 is equal to n. Once again, we got the same way. Completely legitimate way to solve it. Now sometimes when you see a proportion like this, sometimes people say, oh, you can cross multiply. And you can cross multiply, and I'll teach you how to do that, and that's sometimes a quick way to do it. But I don't like teaching it the first time you look at proportions, because it's really just something mechanical. You really don't understand what you're doing, and it really comes out of a little bit of algebra. And I'll show you the algebra as well. But if you don't understand it, if it doesn't make as much sense to you at this point, don't worry too much about it. So we have 8 over 36 is equal to 10 over n. When you cross multiply, you're saying that the numerator here times the denominator over here is going to be equal to, so 8 times n is going to be equal to the denominator over here, let me do this in a different color, the denominator over here times the numerator over here. This is what it means to cross multiply. So this is going to be equal to 36 times 10, 36 times 10. Or you could say